Subscribe to Blessed Dark for your dose of art, architecture, and design, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blessed Dark. So in my last video, I talked about my portfolio, and in the portfolio, I talked about two of the competitions that were inside the portfolio. Now a lot of you wanted info on the competitions, so this video that I've created is all about architectural competitions. So I'm basically going to answer 5 questions for you guys today. Number 1, should you take part in architectural competitions? Number 2, how to know if an architectural competition is right for you? Number 3, how are competitions different from academic projects? Number 4, where can you find architectural competitions? And lastly, what all competitions did I take part in? So first, let's come to the question, should you take part in architectural competitions? The answer to this question is yes, you should, but not any and all of them. See, some things competitions taught me was better presentation skills, better time management, and how to completely think outside the box. But there were also times that I took part in a lot of paid competitions and they were not really that fruitful. Now, throughout my education, I took part in 8 competitions, and let me tell you from personal experience, not all of them were worth it. In my second year itself, I took part in 4 competitions. Now 2 of these were paid competitions, and let me tell you, taking part in all 4 competitions at the second year level was not fruitful at all. Some things that I did learn from these competitions was multitasking, loving my work, and eating golgappas to manage stress. And that did not turn out to be a good strategy. So of course you should take part in architectural competitions, but if you're specially paying money for them, make sure that they're right for you. Which brings us to our second question, how to make sure that the competition is right for you. Okay, so especially till the second year level, make sure and see if all the competitions you want to take part in has a separate category for students till the second year and a separate category for students beyond that. Because if it's a competition open to all students regardless of what year they are in, you know students in 3rd, 4th, 5th year are gonna have so much more experience and so much more design sense than you. So one thing, if you're in 1st year or 2nd year, look out at those competitions and see if there's a separate category for you. Another thing you need to look at is if the competition is just open to students or any and all professionals out there. Because again, the same logic would apply. People who are practicing and have been practicing for so many years already have a leg up on you in terms of designing, in terms of experience. So their designs would obviously be better. And mind you, I am telling you these tips because a lot of competitions out there are paid competitions. So if you really want to pay for them, just see how many people and what skill set of people are getting involved. If it's free, you might as well go for it. One thing I can tell you for sure is whatever competition you find out there, always look at the winning entry, always see who won, what are the points given, why did they win, if all that is available. It really helps you to understand, where you could do better or what more. It just brings in more ideas into your head as well. So always look at all the winners of any competition. Alright, so now let's come to our third question. How are competitions different from academic projects? Okay, so one way that competitions are different from academic projects is timeline. Some competitions are like really short. Some competitions give you like 6-7 months to prepare. When you are doing an academic project, you have a whole semester to do, and it's a fixed time, the semester. It may be 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's a fixed time, the semester slot for you to design. So you know how much time goes where. In competition, it goes a little haywire because competitions like 120 hours are a 5-day competition. Within 5 days, you have to understand the brief, you have to ideate, you have to design, and you have to present all within 5 days. On the other hand, there are competitions like Evolo that give you skyscrapers to design and give you 6 to 7 months. So you have that much time to prepare for it. But if they're giving you that much time, they require a certain level of design, a certain level of presentation, certain level of rendering. So all that goes into your calculation of time and what to do when as well. So this was about time, but one major difference between all academic projects and all competitions out there is that competitions focus so much more on ideas. Sometimes when you're working in studios, in colleges, there are restrictions on us, and those restrictions could be for some reasons like practicality. Now obviously practicality is not a wrong restriction to put because you'll be working in the real world. But sometimes because of those restrictions, you're not able to completely think freely. Competitions, especially competitions like 120 hours or idea related competitions, help you to go wild. You can just completely think outside the box, do whatever you want, and it opens up and start stimulating those creative instincts in your brain. And that is why competitions are really helpful. They help drive your creativity. By the way, I know I've been talking about 120 hours a lot. There were like 3 120 hours that I took part in, and the link for that would be in the description below. Alright, now let's come to probably the most important question. Where do you find the competitions? Now, there are a lot of competitions out there, like so damn many. And a lot of them are paid, a lot of them are free. But is there a resource that you can find all of these competitions together? Well, yes, there is. So for all of those who do not know, there's this website called ArchDaily. It was started by some architect students back in I don't know when, but it is the biggest website for architects out there. It has all the projects, it has news for the projects. It is the place you go to for everything. Whether it's searching for case studies, looking up random articles, it's all there on ArchDaily. Now, one particular section on ArchDaily is about competitions. So when you go to that section, the major competition people out there have given their ads there. A lot of people around the world have given call to action for their competitions out there. And just to tell you, back in 2018, I won a competition that I saw from ArchDaily, and then I got a chance to go to the Venice Biennale in 2018, all free of cost. Now, to all of those wondering, it was a one-time thing. It is not a regular competition that you can keep applying to. It was a one-time competition. But the point is, I got to that competition because of ArchDaily. So, to all the people who keep asking me, where can you find architectural competitions and know what is their fee or whether they are free, all of these details are available on ArchDaily in the competition section. So at least once a week, check that section and fix a day, like every Saturday, check it, and you will be able to see new competitions that come up. Alright, let's come to our last question. This, a lot of you have been asking me, what all competitions did I take part in all my 5 years? So let's go to my computer screen and let's look at it there. Alright, so let's quickly go over the competitions that I did in my college time. Okay, so in my second year, as I told you, I took part in 4 competitions. So this very first one with these horrendous visuals is Yuva Ratna. I had taken part in Yuva Ratna competition. We had to make a school. So I had made a model and that model was pretty cute. I have it with me. But the sheet, as you can see, is horrible. Don't do this if you're planning to. Don't do this in your ever. Moving on, I took part in 120 hours. I told you about this in my portfolio, and this was an amazing project that I did. Another project that I took part in, this was a paid competition. This was called Bangkok Fashion Hub. So this was the building that we had made. Again, not a very great project. In my second year competition, the only good competition that I had done was 120 hours. The fourth one was a competition called Mountain Heart. Again, a paid competition. Again, we did work a lot, and I think for that time we had done quite nicely, but overall it was not a great project. Then we come to my third year. In my third year, again, there was another 120 hours, and the brief for this 120 hours was a house without a function. Make spaces that have no definite functions. So for this, my concept was to just make spaces that are sort of transparent and semi-transparent and opaque. So just having voids and solids and nothing else, so that people can choose whatever they want to do within the space. A transparent space, something that is visible to the outside people, and opaque space is something that is not. So you choose your own functions. The winning entries were really nice, by the way. This was alright. This is my fourth year. I took part in Transparence. Transparence was an amazing competition. I've already told you about this in my portfolio. I'll have another detailed video about this. Another competition I took part in my fourth year, this was another 120 hours. This was a school in China. So I created that. Again, not that great. And in my fifth year, during my internship, I did this competition. My boss for this competition also shouted at me because I sort of was doing this instead of the work that I had to do in my internship, just for a little while, like a day or two, and I got a nice screaming at. Again, not that great. I know I had put a lot of effort into it, but the final product did not come out that great. So hence it was not that good. The amazing competitions that I've had are 120 hours and Transparence. And that is it. That was it, you guys. A video completely on competitions. A lot of information I've given you out there. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comments below. Also interact with each other down below. I love when you do that. And that was it. Please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video. Please subscribe to Blessed Arc. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye-bye.